Y'all, it's me, Tasha C. I know I wrote notes, but I'm just going to remember, because me, my chicken scratch. And I just watched Scandal, and they are giving me Scandal, okay? So, to let y'all know in advance, yeah, season 3, episode, what, 13 now? Season 3, whatever. Shout out to, of course, to my YouTube fam and older new subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and rate, like, comment, share. You can. Anyways, y'all, we all know a Scandal is a great show, but is a lot to follow. So I'm gonna be all over the place and just get on to certain stuff. We didn't see Mama Pope, Papa Pope, whatever. Papa Pope kind of was there for a second. But the main thing in hand we gonna start with first. We seen a lot of ranting and monologues and stuff like that, and we're seeing Jake talk. I thought he was talking to somebody else or recruiting whoever's part B16, but we found out later on. I guess it was really talking to himself or putting in his head like the disconnect and stuff. Like I said, I thought it was powerful, but I guess when you get in that thing, you're not really supposed to have emotions or something to a certain extent, neither. So, in the beginning, he's like, I lost my sister. You have no commit. You're just basically playing this fake role deep down inside. This is Wonderland. This is how it is. Basically, you got no soul. You blank, but it might be a soul there. It may not. Here and blah blah blah. You're part of this community. Blah blah blah. This is not your family. Someone like a family. I guess it's like a family, but I guess it is a family. And it's just like, what the hell? Why does it seem like this part, if Mission Impossible comes back again in like 2014 version, it just seemed like something along them lines. And here's one of the things. Now you got Leo. He's sitting up here because Sally, of course, is getting more crazy than ever, and she got this Reverend. They've been going to her family stuff since, I guess, because the Reverend had to tell us. And basically, like, what they doing, trying to do some exorcism or something? Because pretty much he's asking him to come out to talk. He's like, before he went in to see Sally. He's like, Leo's letting him know, like, because already he had to scrape some bills and some change together to get him on a private plane because he refused to go in court in the name of the Heavenly Father. And so, he's sitting there and basically like, what, you're going to have, basically he's saying like this, Sally obviously listen to, blah, 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 do what you can, try to talk some sense in her. Because she's having a debate with herself, and apparently the debate is she's talking about piggy, oink, oink, baptize in the water, Miss Chrissy, piggy, yum, yum, and hostess chocolate cakes and whatever the hell she was talking about. Okay? And then we go to the Scandal thing. So what else is important about this thing? Now, after the Reverend leaves, the problem is that we don't know what, that he leaves and he's like, I think into my job. And she admitted to, after he leaves, she talks to Leo, and she's like, basically she's going to tell to the world about her sins because God won't listen to her anymore. And now she's going to sit here and, basically confess in order to, get that straightened out, right? So she is about to go ahead and confess to the world. And then that also connects to, not only this will be the biggest scandal, we all know a couple people going to go to jail, including Cyrus, and, especially Cyrus, because he knew about this stuff and basically helped her cover it up, right? So that's the problem. So Leo's just thinking like, oh shit, what the hell we going to do? I hope it just pulls together and blah, blah, blah. So of course he even goes to Cyrus, of course, and is trying to even tell like, can they move it up? I think move up the debate or even cancel it. Cyrus like, whatever, what the heck you talking about? Because, he don't want to admit that basically Sally, I don't think he really told anybody that basically Sally's losing damn mind. And of course, Leo meets up the president, Papa Pope. And Papa Pope said in a nice quote way, like, it basically, to straighten out, because Fizz is basically poison to the thing. And when he's seeing the numbers of Sally's, it's not actually looking that good, whatever. And he told basically Leo this. Either she gets in the office or you're going to be fired. First Leo didn't get it like, like, okay, dude, I ain't working for you, nothing like that. But fire may be cold away from, you're going to be 6 feet deep or something like that, if she doesn't make it, if Sally doesn't make it to the president's, makes it as president. And, so, what's another important scene? Oh yeah, so here's the whole thing, because I swear it's like a broken record, stuff like that. Now, before even they preparing for the debate, you got Millie, Andrew being the place of the other candidate, I guess, trying to go for the Republican side, and I mean, or what, I don't know if he's Democrat or Republican. And you have Millie, of course, and you have Fizz. So Fizz is, letting in this mock speech is just going in, and Cyrus is trying to call. He's just so excited, thinking Liv, is happy. Liv, like, you should be here. Fizz is back. Blah blah blah, whatever, right? And then there's Huck. I know Abby. I know Harrison didn't seem to be there. At least I didn't see him in the scene, or they really didn't focus on him. And David, and they, basically he's trying to tell them about this stuff and this corruption, with Cyrus, and the cover up, confirmed about the cover up with Sally's husband's murder. And Libs doesn't. David's like, okay, we can take this. And Lib is kind of, I don't want to deal with that stuff like that. Whatever, right? So, but at the same time, it's because of the position that she is in. So, over time, now you also have the Quinn thing. Now, Quinn is paying dues. I first thought that's who Jake was talking to. He's got her behind at first at this, and I think, maybe Quinn might have called her bluff because he's thinking Liv is in his corner, and maybe that's why he had her, think it'd be good terms to live. And he's up here, got her like working in this Acme paper place and working as basically this marriage assistant, whatever, selling, or customer representative selling papers and stuff like that. And she's thinking, okay, I'm focused. What about me having a job? Why am I sitting here on this thing? And he basically said, like, her and Charlie, her boyfriend, he said, cannot freelance anymore and do any more freelance assignments, strictly working with B16. So of course, a couple times she's mad about it. She's mad about it. She's mad about it. Whatever. And then, like I said, she told Jake that, and so forth. And now we have this other thing. Now, Liv is still deciding, like, because of what is going on. I'm not going to cover everything in this review. Sorry, just letting y'all know. But Liv is trying to decide, say, whether or not, she does want to live in the sun. She's tired of being in the darkness, corruption. But then, it's the issue of knowing also Cyrus has a part of this, too, can bring down, and Cyrus can go to jail. I mean, it was even one point that Cyrus was drinking liquor, and James was coming to his office, and he's just like, I just want to let you know the best part of me loves you, and blah 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 blah, because they're all worried about when Sally makes it to, say, the thing is, she confesses that a lot of people fall down and stuff like that. Because he asked flat out, he tried to call Charlie, but now the freelance thing is messed up. Freelance, like, I can't mess with you no more. I only kill and eat suckers occasionally for orders that's given by B16, okay? But he ends up trying to ask, he met somewhere in the park. Now you got you got David and James sitting there talking again, because like I said, Yo-Yo be back for, I swear, 1 minute James wants to do it and David is not sure, because even him and Abby talked about it, because Abby, of course, asked Liv, is she going to go through with helping David with this? And Liv is like, I want to stay out of it, okay? So don't ask me about whether or not David should go through or going down, or who's a part of the scandal and stuff like this, right? So, he, like I said, you got that issue going on. And, like I said, you got Cyrus talking to Jake, and he's trying to get Jake to kill, basically take out Sally, because it's like, okay, taxpayers ain't gonna want to pay tax, all this damn scandal, stuff like that. It's a reputation room. She goes and does that, that will help happen. Because, right before then, also Liv, when she found out through David that Cyrus had something to do with it, and it was all a cover-up, she goes to visit Cyrus, and Cyrus does confirm it, and then she started laughing. She's just like, everybody pale they choose, basically, is a damn murder. If it's murder, Sal murder, I guess, I don't know the other person murder, everybody murderers. And, Liv is trying to tell Cyrus, because Cyrus is like, aren't you going to have our backs and stuff like that? And she really does want to be on the light and stuff like that side. She don't want to be the dark. She want to take off the shades and stop believing in this darkness and keeping stuff undercover, so to speak. So still was no quote, quote, quote answer. And then you got, she goes to visit Jake, which she hasn't done in months, whatever, with the Washington certain burgers, and she wanted to get drunk and have fake fries from Ryan, and he was first saying, like, it's okay, talk to me, but she doesn't really want to talk, and then he talking about, just this pretend job of selling paper, because she wants to be normal. And, even Jake said, why don't we just be normal together and stuff, like, we can run and stuff like that, and just say the word. He still has hope of the relationship, that, he still has feelings for Liv. I guess now he feels like now towards the end of the end of this review, and you were seeing in this episode, that went down the drain. He's basically like fuck love, and so he ends up saying first was messing with her saying, if you drink the wine, I am going to take advantage of you. She's like, no, you're not. Yeah, no, I'm not. Then all of a sudden, she decides to get some slong from Jake, and whatever. So, she found out just like later on when Jake goes to actually sees her again, he asks Chinese food and stuff like that, whatever. But she's just all like everything's a mess and all this other stuff. And here, like I said, Jake really seriously thought like maybe there was still some chance and stuff like that. But she kind of gave him basically the hint, like he realizes that to a certain degree, because she's worried about the debate and all this stuff. I think she's about debate and just worried about what can happen. He put two together, realized like she still rather really be with Fizz, and he was just kind of like just her, backup penis. Yeah. So, he realized once the way she was talking, basically like, okay, she kind of is directly kind of worried about Fizz as opposed to being worried about possibly their relationship or trying to save Fizz's ass. He's like, okay, he walked out. He didn't even get an egg roll. He just got the hell out there the damn place and her place, whatever. So I think this is when he finally said, even though he said to Cyrus when he met with him, basically like, I ain't got, I'm not going to deal with trying to assassinate Miss Sally because of the circumstances, because he's like, or we ain't worried about protecting the president and stuff like that. We bet Gates got other stuff to do. That's petty squabble. And that's what Cyrus let him know, how much squabble and stuff that's really involved with this. So he had Quinn, I guess, after basically Liv let him know, like, it's official that she prefers Fizz over him, indirectly, so to speak, because how to be talking like hell on this thing. He ends up at finally going to Quinn, because Quinn went to his office and was basically apologized for the way for her saying like Liv doesn't have her back, Liv only care about herself. Liv, you don't know Liv how she is, she just manipulated you. She thought she's telling you supposedly she's trying to look out for my protection. Liv is all about herself. Somebody needs to take one, put the laser in right here and take Quinn's ass out. And so after the debate is still going, the debate's about to happen, because Liv had asked Fizz, like, we talked about no more secrets and blah blah blah, so I'm gonna need you to stumble this debate, on purpose to give her a chance, basically so sadly, because everything might run out. But she confesses, a lot of them are screwed. So Jake, on the other hand, after I guess being somewhat brokenhearted, maybe that's why he was saying that monologue was maybe right before he was about to do this, I guess. Maybe we're seeing some fast forward. So all of a sudden, like I said, I know I'm not going to do everything, y'all. It's too much. But all of a sudden, here's what happened around the debate, because this is like one of the important, more turtle times. Like I said, right, when the debate occurred, there were Sally before that she's on her knees praying, blah blah blah. And Leah's trying to talk to like, do your best, blah blah, and they're kind of concerned. So Jake is able. She gets Quinn, and I don't know, I guess she had balls and all, to go in the office. She must have, I hope, checked it better with her binoculars to make sure Huck's ass was going to finish taking the rest of the goddamn moles out. I mean, she was able to break the safe with the information, like the transcripts and everything that I think basically David had gave them. So she gave them from the office and gives it to Jake. And Jake is checking, like, the information, like what was said in the transcript between Cyrus, or basically the mole or whoever was, like, the reporter. She's looking at the picture of the reporter, the one who gave, I think David or James, information about the confession that was told to Cyrus and everything else. He's just looking at it. And then he got to do this in the Secret Service as part of B-16, basically giving him the thing like, if Sally says, the minute she says I confess, I can't, I guess that's nigga was going to take her ass out. So he got, I think, one of those dudes on patrol when they're doing the debate. So all of a sudden, I guess Fitzpatrick, first he was on a roll, because, even at times you can see Sally, she's about the moral support, and yes, and na-na, and na-na, and na-na. And so all of a sudden, what changed is when the president, I guess, decided to stumble and say, like, he praised, because when she was about to confess, he said, oh, you on these Bible verses, and then he says a comment about, he's proud of his personal problem, his personal mistakes, and even those are mistakes or errors. And then that's when Sally got out and, oh, you mean you proud of your adultery or the death in the country and blah, blah, blah. So it snapped her out of for a minute. It became to be the lovely church, annoying ass junior church lady that we all can't stand as for a second until now. So all of a sudden, like I said, Cyrus kind of still is one, here's Leo just happy about the debate, how it went, but he's still talking stuff to Cyrus on account of, like, yeah, we won the debate and blah, 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 and stuff like that. I can't wait to change this office. And you need to get rid of that buzzing noise. And at first, I ain't gonna lie, when I heard that noise, I thought, like, oh shit, they got a bomb about Cyrus' office. And then you hear, and then he's trying to look for, of course, his buggy signal like the average person would be, or either pretend to run the fuck out, just get think it's a damn bomb, either or. And he finds, of course, the plug of the digital, the thing of, basically he realized, of course, that he was being, recorded and stuff. And he finds that little microphone inside the digital frame. And then he runs into James, and I first thought he was going to sit there and be like, you know what, don't come home tonight. You get your daughter and pack up or something or whatever. But he basically was like, he confessed that, yeah, I was in the wrong, but I always loved you and stuff like that. And I wasn't wrong to put you in the position that I was. Because, James, like, you put our family at risk and everything. You broken it. And it was almost like he still knew something, was wrong. Even though Sally's bounced off and that keeps the confessional under wraps. Here's another problem. So David and the lady who sent the information to David and the one that was going to put, like, where happened to the autopsy, that Vanessa chick, whatever, they all meet in the dark, like I said. And James, considered, I guess, he felt guilty about probably doing this to Cyrus. He kind of, again, because David wants to go through with it, I guess. And, James again is back to, again, to this damn thing, talk about some, you know what? Never mind, David. I think we should just put a wraps or postpone or something like that, right? And then here come back to my log to James talking about some, you know what, and here in Wonderland and B16, we're here. And I'm thinking, like, because you just see feet, and, bottom feet. And I'm thinking, because it kept showing back and forth, what we see in the beginning, So you kind of thinking, like, who is he talking about? Who is he talking about? Like, this stuff like, I am here and stuff like this and B16 and stuff, and you have no emotions. You run like a robot. This is your thing. You just think. You don't think later on. I mean, that's how pretty much it was, okay? So now you kind of think, looking at James like, oh, he is a heartless it's too many heartless assholes now. Then we got to wonder next week with Harrison, that chick, whatever, or also I like to call Black Widow and Pope. I'm like, dang, I mean, we got, 4 more episodes or 5 more episodes left, and they all get like this? I guess they try to make up for almost daring to be going about 2 seasons out there. But anyways, y'all, no, that was random. So anyways, all of a sudden, I think David or James, they were all asking each other, 4 of them, David, that Vanessa, and that other lady. Because these were the people, it turns out that, Jake was looking at. Already was going to go ahead and have Sally assassinated until she snapped out and called Biz on his bluff, and pretty much, like I said, kind of saved her ass. She more ways than one, and she don't even know it. Because, like I said, when she was about to confess and stuff like that, she was all talking about, Jesus and the Judas incident, and and everything else and all this other thing. But here's the kicker. So all of a sudden, I think they just show. Here goes the chick that gave David information. Down. Or Vanessa. If somebody went first. I know it was the ladies. He literally kept this phrase, ladies first, okay? As far as taking them both out, okay? Okay? So then all of a sudden, we see James. James sitting there just looking blank-faced with a gun in hand. He the one killing them off and stuff. I guess he like, oh no, this information not be disclosed. He is like, so in other words, my bad, y'all. It is not Papa Pope that just has the icebox. Apparently, Jake has an icebox where his heart used to be as well. It is so cold. And then all of a sudden, it went blank. So we don't know, and that's how it ends, who got shot. I don't know, I didn't cover some things, but the point is, who got shot? And by the way, the last little part before this happened, Liv goes to visit Fizz the next day, and in long speech, again, she realized and tells, I guess they're just going to try. She got to kiss him again. But she's saying basically, like, we have to accept the reality of not, this not going to happen. I guess things, we just take it day by day. But the real reality is we can't separate mind and Fizz and blah, blah, blah. And it's a bunch of 5-minute stuff that most of us probably fell asleep on because we're seeing the same repeated ass pattern stuff again with her. Ugh. And that's sad, y'all. Alright, I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Have a pleasant night, pleasant day, pleasant weekend. And I definitely see y'all next one, because now we got to wonder, who did he shoot? Did he shoot everybody? Did he shoot one of them the pinky toe? What the hell happened? I'm like, oh my gosh, is one of them injured? Because we don't know if he shot him or it was a warning. Did he shoot, glazed the ear? We don't know what the hell he did. We don't know until next week, y'all. Or we might. I don't know. Or it might be the season finale. But yeah, that's the cliffhanger, y'all. James went to the dark side, literally. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Love y'all. See you in the next one.